girls.
Hey, girls.
No, just say hey.
Hey,
I'm videoing us.
Emil.
Yeah, we're going to start us a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
What should we call our channel?
I don't know.
We should call it I don't know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Mama. Ouch.
What did you do?
Hey, girls.
Callie, are you excited to be on YouTube? Hang on, let's let Emery say hey since she's blocked by the chair. Say hey.
Hey.
And there's Miss Lacybug, if you can see her in that itty bitty mirror. Hi everyone. This is going to be our first YouTube video. I wanted to come on here and share a little bit about our life and what we have been through. I'm the mother of 3 beautiful daughters, all thanks to IVF, in vitro fertilization. For those who don't know what IVF is, I'm going to be talking more about that in upcoming videos. I have 3 daughters though thanks to IVF, and they are my miracles. Me and my husband had tried for 2.5 years before finally seeking help at a fertility clinic. And the reason why we waited 2.5 years, we started trying within a few months after we got married. After a year passed, we started to realize something was obviously wrong. And then after 2.5 years, we had to save up the money just because I knew how expensive all of that is. Insurance doesn't typically cover most of that, if any of that. And you can hear them in there playing. But yeah, it was very, very expensive for a long process. We went in, we had to get tested. I think they tested me first, and everything came back normal, and we were really at a loss there. Like, well, then maybe it's something with him, because a lot of times they'll test the girl and the guy and then realize there's nothing they can find that's wrong, and just unexplained infertility. But we did find something wrong with my husband's semen analysis. I remember his numbers came back and they were great. They were above average. The quality was normal. The only thing was the mobility. And it was pretty bad. I think typically on average, about mobility is the movement of the sperm, and on average, most guys is between like 40 and 60% mobility movement. 40 to 60% are moving. His was 2 to 4% were moving, so it was pretty low. The doctor assured me that he, in his days of working, has seen guys that had 8% of sperm that was mobile, and they got pregnant on their own. And it's like, but that my husband's was obviously less than that. I was just so tired of trying at that point, just ready to move forward with what we needed to do. And so we tried 3 rounds of IUI because my insurance covered partial amount of that. We still ended up paying close to $1,000 for each of those cycles. And then after none of those worked, we felt really defeated because I knew IVF was the next step, and I knew how much it was going to cost. But we kind of just, I went and sat down with a financial counselor because we had saved up probably about $5,000 at that point from the years of saving beforehand. That was what was left actually after paying for all the tests and what we had to pay out of the IUIs and all of that. We had about $5,000 at that point. I was like, maybe my insurance will cover some of it. Maybe it won't be as much as we're thinking. And we went and sat down, and it was going to be between like $20,000 and $40,000, and my heart just sank, and I felt like giving up at that point. I broke down, and that's just the type of person I am, I guess. My husband, being who he is, was just like, we're gonna find a way, we're gonna find a way. He's just Mr. Positive, and he did. He set up the whole thing. We started fundraisers and GoFundMe pages, and we were able to save up through donations and fundraisers. We were able to get up about $13,000, and obviously we were still short. And I was like, well, we're just gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying. And then my grandmother called me, and she was able to give us the rest. And to this day, I owe her just everything. My whole world wouldn't be here if not for her. And just love her so much for that. I know everybody doesn't have like family members that have that much money to just like give them, and just have that much money in general. My heart breaks for anyone that has to go through IVF, because it is such a just a crazy situation to be in, and even financially, just the hormones and everything you have to go through, and then for those that have to go through it and then it not work, like I couldn't imagine. We wound up with 5 embryos. We transferred 2 my first round. They both took, and we were pregnant with twins for 11 weeks, and then we found out one of our twins no longer had a heartbeat, and it's called disappearing twin syndrome. That baby slowly just kind of absorbed back into my body, and I remember at the 20-week anatomy scan, we could still see the twin, but it was very, very small. And by the next ultrasound I had, it was gone. They still had to measure it and everything because it was there in my anatomy scan, but still, like, it's just hard to see that baby there. But we did get my miracle baby out of that pregnancy. My first, her name is Emery, and she is now 4. And then our second round, I wanted to get pregnant right away. I was just, I don't know, I longed for another baby, maybe because we were trying for so long. But at 8 months, she was 8 months old when I went back for my second round of IVF, and I had to stop breastfeeding and all that, which was really hard because I enjoyed breastfeeding, but I wanted another baby at the same time. I know a lot of y'all think that's selfish probably, but I just wanted that baby. I wanted to be a mom for so long, and I just wanted to love on my babies and wanted to have all of them. So we went forward with it, and it was unsuccessful, which just took me really hard because I expected it to work because it worked the first time. But it didn't. And at this point, my daughter was 10 months old when we actually, because it takes a couple months to start the shots and just the whole process of everything. And I was heartbroken, but we jumped right back into it, and ended up going through with our third round of IVF, and we got pregnant with my second daughter, who is now 2. Her name is Callie. She is my wild child. And then I felt so happy having 2 kids. It's definitely different having the 2 of them, having somebody she can play with and grow with, and they are the best of friends. They fight all the time now, but they love each other so much, and just watching them play together now, it's magical, to say anything else. And then we ended up going back. Again, I had 1 embryo left, and we were very hopeful that it was going to work. I mean, if not, at least we had our 2 miracles. But I wanted to use it. I didn't want to just leave it in there and keep paying for because you have to pay for embryo storage. You have to pay embryo storage fee monthly or yearly if that's what you choose to do. And It's like we might as well use it. I don't want to just leave it in there. I don't want to donate it. I'd rather just try. And we did, and it worked. And we got pregnant with my third little girl. No boys, just girls, but I wouldn't change a thing about I love them so much. I love being a mom. It's something that I always wanted from the time I was very young. And she is 4 months old. And here's my little miracles. My other two are in there playing, which I'm sure you've heard. they're playing with their dolls and stuff. But yeah, they're everything to me, and I thank God for IVF, even though it is very invasive, and I'll get into more about IVF in general, like I said in a later video, but just wanted to give a little, like, they're not fighting, they're actually playing, a little view into our crazy world, but I will get more on later videos, and just wanted to kind of share our story. All right.